For your lab final, you'll be given a sheet. It looks much like this. On the front are some things to fill out, and the back is a line ladder diagram that you'll work to. You'll look at the rear and look at that line ladder diagram, and based on the diagram you'll determine which lab vault parts you need, and in this area here you'll enter in the part number and you will write your description of that part number. You fill up your inventory sheet in this area here, and then once you fill that out you'll go get the parts and components. You may need to look at the parts, so go over there and use those parts to help you fill that out. You're not expected to have all these part numbers memorized, but you should know if you need a push button, you'll know which push button is, and you can find it, record the part number and its description. So once you work through there, get the inventory filled out, get everything there, you'll flip the diagram over and then use those parts as they're put out on the table in front of you to complete the diagram with all the terminal numbers. Every terminal number needs to be identified on that diagram. Once you're finished, you'll turn that diagram back into the instructor and get a new diagram from them with the proper numbers on it. We don't want you wiring up the components with an incorrect diagram. So you'll take your new diagram and going over to LabVolt, transfer all of the parts to LabVolt and wire your components up as shown on the diagram. Get the instructor to come over at that point, do a check of your wiring, and make sure that there is nothing that will cause harm to either you or the components, and you'll get approval to proceed and power up. Now if you power up before you get approval, your test is over with. It's done. Do not even try and get any points out of it. You must get a signature from the instructor before powering up. Now the signature from the instructor is just approval to power up, and all it is that we do not see anything that is unsafe there. It does not mean that the circuit will work. So the next step is to energize it, and if it works at that point, you will get full credit for it. If you've got to start troubleshooting, you'll lose points, you'll lose the working points on that, and then you have to start working towards making it operate. If you need to ask the instructor any questions, you can ask the instructor, ask the question, and then the instructor will say, now that you've stated that question, are you sure you want an answer? Because each one of those answers come at 10 points off. Each one of your questions will count for minus 10 points. We will allow you to ask your question, and sometimes just the process of asking the question triggers the answer. That's about it. Get your tests from the instructor and go get them.